What is going on, my crazy 76er fanatics? Thanks for stopping back in for another daily pod with your daily 76er discourse and discussion. Guys, thank you so much for stopping in, dropping in, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Each one of you guys who leave a view or leave a comment or two, all of you guys matter. Appreciate you guys helping us climb that subscription ladder. But we got to talk about this team and do a deeper dive all week because we get closer and closer to the season. I'm going to give you a few more and more reasons why this squad could be the championship Sixers team we've been praying for, we've been begging for. And one thing this team has needed is one thing this team has. What is the biggest strength this team has? Leadership. One weakness from last season turned into a strength for this season. This squad specializes in leadership. That is because identity is something this team has never really had as of recent. I mean, we can go back to the Allen Iverson years where if AI was known as this squad's leader, he was leading to the club every night after the game. You can ask Lou Will. You can ask Lou Will where Allen Iverson was spending his time. And then you can progress as the seasons will go on. I mean, no losing team has an identity or a real good culture. And then with the Ben Simmons years, with the Brett Brown years, there was no real accountability. And accountability is something this team has struggled with up until now. The reason this squad has a huge strength, the biggest strength of this team, is leadership, is because this team is a Tyrese Maxey-led group. Tyrese Maxey, who is taking a huge leadership role for this squad, has also created a culture, an identity in this building of work. Not only hard work individually, but an identity of the entire team putting in work. That's one thing this squad has not had before. That was a leader that led by example. Tyrese has already had his fingerprints, had a little bit of Tyrese's identity rub off, spread off, and maybe be intertwined with VJ Edgecomb and Jared McCain. The young guys on this squad already know what's expected of them. Work, hard work, consistent work, and relentlessly being in the gym. Now that is expected of them because it's coming from the top down for the first time. Again, Tyrese up until the younger and the players who want more minutes. This squad is already in the gym together, guys, and the excitement, it is electrifying. Kelly Oubre seems to be close-knit with Daryl Morey, with Adem Bona. Those boys, those fellas are playing ping pong. Tyrese Maxey is playing 2K with VJ Edgecomb. Jared McCain is calling Kyle Lowry. Andre Drummond is in the back with the boys huddled up. Guys, I'm telling you, if you go to the Sixers Instagram page, not only do you get to see that the work is being put in early, but you really get to see who's at the forefront of this team. Who is the focal point of these photos? And who seems to be the on-court leader in a lot of these workouts and runs? Guys, Tyrese Maxey is at the forefront of the leadership group. VJ Edgecomb is definitely one of the players that identify with the hard work identity that's being built in that locker room. One thing you can say about this squad from what you're seeing through the Instagrams, through the conversations, and through the comments, everyone hated last season. No one is proud of the result from last season, which is one more reason why this team's going to be better than they were last year. Because they want to be, they're willing to work to be, and the expectation is that they're going to have to put the work in to be great rather than buy themselves a few players, sign a few max contracts, put together a scheme that's been working before, and you guys should be what you guys were always going to be. No. It starts from day one. It starts from the ground up. And this team is working together to be great. I'm talking about Trenton Wofford's in the gym. Newly acquired Trenton Wofford is in the gym with these young guys consistently. VJ Edgecomb, of course, putting that work in consistently. Jared McCain, who has the identity, and everyone knows that Jared McCain is one of the hardest workers in the building. His rookie season, Jared McCain built his identity on the hard work that he was putting in. Post-knee surgery, you can follow Jared McCain on YouTube, Nathan in the Cut. You can see some of his workouts. Guys, Jared McCain is putting in the work to be the best 3-point shooter, and the best rim attacker. Jared McCain is diversifying his game, trying to become more of an on-ball threat, more of an on-ball point guard. And there are certain things that he's going to be asked to do that last season you wouldn't even thought about. One of them is taking some of the load off of Tyrese Maxey. And if Jared McCain isn't able to take the load off of Tyrese Maxey, that role will be going to VJ Edgecomb, guys. One of the things that makes VJ Edgecomb so special is that he's so raw. Is that if he was a painting, his canvas, it's not filled in. It's not a perfect picture yet. There's so many more details, so many more minute skills that he can add. One thing that you gotta love about VJ Edgecomb is that he is an unfinished product, but the product is consistently growing. It's consistently improving. And the identity of teamwork and individual work, VJ has already adapted, and he's already exemplifying everything that you'd want to see from a young star, a young guy trying to be great in this league. What makes VJ special is his attitude. Some things that Tyrese Maxey says, Paul George says, Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse says, the reason he was perfect for this team wasn't his skill set right now, wasn't his ability that he displays right now, but it was the work, it was the personality, and it was the fact that he would buy into the culture that they're trying to set right now. His mindset is one of the greatest things that VJ Edgecomb has. On top of that, he seems to be one of the team's favorite players. Everyone knows that VJ Edgecomb is extremely competitive. He's going to talk a lot of trash. He's going to work extremely hard. He's electrifying. He's legitimately one of the best players on this court to hang around, to be around, because his personality, it's electrifying. His smile, his laughter, again, his hardworking attitude, it's contagious. His attitude, guys, has always been what made him special. And that attitude is exactly what not only Philadelphia fans will love, Philadelphia fans will buy into, but why he will be one of the best pickups, one of the best draftees, and one of the best Sixers, not only for this season, but for seasons to come. He's going to put that work in. One player we are struggling, and I'm telling you guys, the deep dive, the Sixer detectives, the fanatics, they have all tried to find pictures, examples of where Paul George is putting that work in, not only in his own right, but with this squad, with this team. Now, if you do know that Paul George is recovering, he's still going through physical therapy for his injury that he sustained over the summer. But the chemistry just doesn't seem to be there with Paul George. When players talk about Paul George, they don't talk about the person. They talk about the player and the accolades that he established before last season. I mean, when you hear Tyrese Maxey, Nick Nurse, Daryl Morey, when you hear these guys talk about Paul George, it's not from the greatness that they've seen from their own two eyes in Philadelphia. It's from the greatness they've seen from their own two eyes on YouTube, in the highlights, in previous season, when he was a Clipper, a Thunder, a Pacer. They're hoping. And the conversations around Paul George, they're hopeful that a 34-year-old, pushing 35-year-old Paul George could reclaim the greatness of his all-star seasons. They always comment that he was a former all-star. They always comment that he was a former MVP votee. But they never comment on what they saw last season, what they believe he can be based off of what he's producing on the court. It's time to trade him, guys. At the end of the day, it's time to move on. It's time to move on fast. It's time to trade him. Who could you potentially trade Paul George for? Guys, there are some good trades that we can cook up and we can look up. One of the quickest ones I want to get to, though, is a Zach LaVine for Paul George trade. Why? Because this team has a high level of teamwork, of chemistry, and of camaraderie. And Zach LaVine, he's friends with Joel Embiid. Zach LaVine, he's been putting work in with Tyrese Maxey. And you can trade Zach LaVine and someone who hasn't worked out in any squad, which could be the best trade for Sacramento, Kevin Huerter. Sacramento could trade Kevin Huerter and Zach LaVine for Paul George. Now, this would be the Sixers taking back more money than they're putting out, but luckily, because of the new CBA, the Sixers are able to take back about 125% of the contract they put out because they're not in the second apron. So, Zach LaVine and Kevin Huerter, would be about $62 million. The Sixers, just trading Paul George, are able to take back $62.8 million. Oh, I'm sorry, $64.8 million, and Zach LaVine and Kevin Huerter would be $64 million. Getting the numbers right, guys. Getting the numbers right. So I would love to see a Zach LaVine for Paul George trade. I mean, that can happen today. That can happen tomorrow. That can happen any day of the week, and I would love that because Zach LaVine is a bucket getter. He's still young. He's still athletic. And one thing about Zach LaVine is he hasn't won yet. He seems to want to be a proven winner. And this team needs guys that want to be winners, not want to be paid, want to be winners. Plus the team chemistry, plus the culture, and plus the identity. Another athletic guy, another fast-paced player. And again, Zach LaVine may just log jam that shooting guard position with Quentin Grimes, with Jared McCain, with Tyrese Maxey, with VJ Edgecomb. But you got to be honest, guys. Zach LaVine is a fringe all-star. And if you put him in the East, Zach LaVine is a beast. I would love Zach LaVine for a Paul George trade because you're going to get more bang for your buck and more money on your buy, more production on your buy. Gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love it. What I also love, guys, is when you like, when you comment, when you subscribe, guys. Don't worry, we're going to get to all of your comments. Not one, not two, but all of your comments tomorrow, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're just starting the week with this conversation, and the conversation continues. A channel brought to you by the people, for the people. So for all the people that stop by and watch, thank you so much, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We got another episode tomorrow.